I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. Michel Ghisleri was born in Bosco Marengo, province of Alessandria, Italy, in 1504. At the age of 14, he entered the Dominican order. Once ordained as a priest, he went through all the stages of an exceptional career. He was professor, prior of the convent, provincial superior. He was inquisitor, bishop, cardinal, and finally pope. He was elected pope in 1566 at the age of 62 and led the church with sobriety and simplicity in the style of the preaching friars. Pius V was above all a great reformer. Among the reforms he promoted following the Council of Trent, we recall the requirements of residence for bishops in their own dioceses. The religious orders had to live in enclosure and celibacy, insisting on the sanctity of life of priests. He encouraged the theological formation of priests and named St. Thomas Aquinas Doctor of the Church. He encouraged pastoral visits by bishops and promoted missions. He corrected liturgical books and censored publications. Seeking to confirm the entire church in the same faith, he developed the Roman breviary and missal to nourish its prayer and that of the faithful. He published the Catechism of the Council of Trent, called the Roman Catechism, and for all these reasons he created the Sacred Congregation de Propaganda Fidei, established in 1622. He was the Pope of the victory of Lepanto, not because he was a man who enjoyed war, but because with his authority and personal prestige, he managed to impose a truce on the discord among the European states and bring them into a holy alliance to halt the threatening advance of the Turks. On October 7, 1571, the Christian fleet, with a very small army, faced a large Ottoman army in the Bay of Lepanto. From Rome, the Pope publicly called for everyone to join in praying the Rosary, asking the Mother of God for the victory in the battle. The Christians succeeded in defeating the Ottomans. That same day, Pius V, who lacked the rapid means of communications that we have today, ordered all the bells of Rome to be rung, inviting the faithful to give thanks to God for the victory achieved. With the triumph of the Battle of Lepanto, the Pope instituted that day as the Day of Our Lady of Victory, which later in 1573 was called Our Lady of the Rosary. Pius V had a very paternal attitude toward the humble and simple, visiting hospitals and personally caring for the sick. However, he was extremely severe in the attempts of some of dividing the church. Therefore, he excommunicated and decreed the deposition of the Queen of England, Elizabeth I, knowing the tragic consequences that would bring for English Catholics. Pius V died on May 1st, 1572, at the age of 68, having dedicated his life to seeking the unity of all the faithfuls in the teachings of Christ, because he knew that with God we always win.